Warning: the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Ahoy, all of you Flick Freaks out there, what is going on? My name is Andrew, and welcome to episode 59 of the Flick Freak Podcast. Joined as always by my cohorts, we have the Radish Ravinator, Mike Boykin. And the wrong half of Hollywood, Jareth Mooneyham.
Hello.
Guys, it's been a full moon, it seems, since I've seen you. Even though it was just last week, for some reason it just seems like...
we were all sort of a little delirious and kind of well dressed. It was weird. It was just a weird time for everyone.
Fun though. Pictures turned out very well.
Yeah.
I think they turned out really good.
None of us so sassy as Jareth Mooneyham.
No, you were quite sassy.
That's true always.
Although
no one is quite as sassy as me.
Mike, your slumber party picture I think was just great.
Oh, the hands.
The hands, yeah.
Mike, sweepy.
All right, so yeah, I don't want to review the movie that I saw in theaters this week. So, Jareth, I hear you have something prepared for us.
Sort of. I've seen like 7 new movies. So.
Fantastic.
I don't imagine they're new movies.
They don't have to be.
Tell us all the movies you saw, and then tell us which one you're going to be reviewing.
Okay, let me just work my old memory here. I saw a movie called We Are Still Here. A lot of horror movies. I went to visit my mom, and that's kind of our thing. So
nice.
We Are Still Here. I saw the new Poltergeist.
I heard that was PG-13, actually. So, was it really bad?
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like blow your socks off, but it was all right. And yes, it was pretty PG-13. But
okay.
I know I saw something else. I saw like 3. Oh, saw Troll Hunter the other night.
Yeah,
Troll Hunter.
My girlfriend made him watch Troll Hunter.
Yeah. Saw something else too, but I forget it. So clearly it's not worth it. Or it was really good, and I just am stupid.
Troll Hunter was so fucking good. Guys, I gotta say something. I'm really Christian. What? Why'd you come if you're Christian?
Yeah, he really should have bailed out already.
Yeah.
More than that, like, are they really pushing the real true story thing? They pushed it real hard.
I think that was great. I think that they walked that line. And at the very end, that 4,000-foot troll that apparently nobody's seen just walking around.
Not in, like, the forest. It's just out in a fucking field.
Yeah, just walking around, and nobody's seen him for, like, ever, because they don't just pop up. Apparently, they're there for hundreds of years.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to do the movie We Are Still Here, because it was the most interesting of the movies I saw.
Okay.
Troll Hunter was interesting, but it wasn't as interesting as We Are Still Here.
Yeah.
It's a horror movie. No idea who directs it, and I recognize none of the people who starred in it.
Ted Geoghegan. Yeah, Geoghegan.
Good effort there, buddy.
Well, I'm sorry. It's this weird Dutch name I've never... Ted directed it.
Okay. Thanks, Ted.
Yeah.
And the reason it was so interesting is it seemed to be a movie with odd sensibilities. Typically, you kind of have something to expect going into a horror movie or any movie in general. Especially modern horror movies. And it definitely had some modern horror sensibilities. There was some gore in it. But the gore was very surprising because of how it treated itself at all other times. Because before that, there's lots of like long, quiet shots that are kind of like, they're framed very artistically. There's one point where they're going into town and they just show you, there's like a minute and a half of them just showing you parts of the town really artistically.
Huh. Wow.
And it's like, look, here's the store. Here's this. And it's not like still frames. It's just like them watching the store, and the characters aren't even in the shot
So
anymore.
that's typically a very overt directorial technique to give you a real sense of place and presence. That's a interesting thing to do in a horror movie.
Yeah.
And the use of sound throughout, because there is score with it, but the majority of the sound is silence, which is interesting and doesn't happen very often in modern horror movies. Typically, they're trying to amp you up with like a scary violin or some shit.
Yeah.
So
And then the cat jumps out.
yeah, and then the cat jumps out, or they're playing a cat. You don't know. Just running a bow around a cat. I guess it's good. I think it's good. I think the movie is good.
Okay.
So
So do you find yourself kind of still thinking it over?
yeah, which is
I think
something.
I think that's a definite thing. That's definitely good.
The weird way it behaves itself, kind of like with this. It's got like this indie movie vibe,
Yeah.
but not like it's an independent movie, like a movie that's made to be an indie movie.
Okay.
Damn, this guy has a big forehead. The guy who played Jacob Lewis in the movie.
Oh yeah, his forehead is huge.
That's like a fucking 9 head. That's what that is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I said something very similar whenever he first got on screen. I was like, God damn,
Big ass
like
forehead.
a goddamn Moai Island head.
Yeah.
Did
Did you ever see the new Green Lantern movie?
Yes.
Do you remember what's his name? His head kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
That's what this guy looks like in real life. They could have just cast him.
Yeah. No, that's true. The guy who was the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Mike, look at this here. Look at that thing.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking enormous.
Like Jack Nicholson would be like, oh.
Yeah,
that's too much.
He kind of does look like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs the eyebrows. But
Yeah. Just those funky,
Yeah, if you
out of control eyebrows.
if you crossed this guy with fucking eyebrow kid, you'd have Jack Nicholson.
He eats a whole sock.
What? In the movie?
Yeah, they
Or
gag him.
did you meet him? And I don't know why I said in the movie. I assume it was in the movie.
No, I met him once as a party trick. He's like, "Here's my sock." No,
And
they gag
not
him with a
anymore.
sock at one point, and he fucking eats it
Wow.
right out of his mouth.
Like a champ.
That's one way
Instead
to,
of spitting it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way to get out of that predicament.
Also, the movie's got a pretty decent twist. It's not really a twist, I guess.
Did they Shyamalan you?
Not really. It wasn't like they were the ghosts the whole time.
But it was a twist in that it changes the context of the movie prior.
Drastically.
That's a twist. Yeah, that'd be a big twist.
Nice.
Because it's like, okay, here's the problem. And then it's like, no, that is a huge problem, but this is the problem. So, I don't know. This isn't the spoiler cast, so I give too
So is
much
this
away.
is it what? How do we rate things? Go see it.
See it? Is it a see it then? You recommend people see it?
Yeah, I think so. I think you should definitely
I'm not
see
going to
it.
lie. You sold me. I really want to see it now.
I would like for you guys to watch it just, if no other, if to just vindicate how I feel about the movie.
Yeah.
To see if I'm just crazy in the way that I'm perceiving it.
All right.
I feel like
it's
check it
really
out.
weird.
Well, like I said, you've sold me. I got to go and see this movie now. Gentlemen, I think it's time we move on to the top 10 news.
Yes.
So the first news item up, the Freddie Mercury biopic is finally going to start filming next year. Sony is producing and Anthony McCartan is writing.
Do you recall who is to play?
They don't have a cast
Queen
member
himself.
for Freddie.
Nothing?
Nobody's cast yet. Which I think is crazy because I think the only thing they've got so far is like, yeah, we're going to have Anthony McCartan writing it. And that's about it. And he wrote The Theory of Everything, the biopic that was out last year.
Yeah.
I'm having a brain fart
Stephen
right now.
Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, yeah. Good movie. Really
Yeah.
good movie. And now he's going to be doing this one as well. So, yeah, I'm on board for this.
Pretty
I
weird
can't-
jump from Stephen Hawking to Freddie Mercury.
I know they both changed the world, in their
Well-
own. But seriously, I'm surprised there has not been a Freddie Mercury biopic.
Yeah,
to this
that's.
point.
I mean,
It's a fascinating story. How has nobody done it?
he passed in like 92, I think,
Yeah.
or 93, and it's like, hell, you'd think there'd have been one before that. He has a really fascinating story.
Yeah. Like, I'm not talking about just like the AIDS thing or anything like that, or
No,
the
no,
whole
no,
gay
like-
thing. Like his rise to fame is
Right.
really an interesting
And like
story.
his family were immigrants. Freddie Mercury obviously is not his real name.
Yeah.
Like he has a very
What?
I know we're blowing
Santa
Jared's
Claus
mind.
isn't real. He has a really fascinating story just by himself, and he was a very fascinating person. He's one of those that whatever actor they can get to play him, Oscar,
Yeah.
100%.
I was thinking about who I'd want them to get to play Freddie Mercury, and I was thinking the guy from White Collar, Matt Bomer, would be a really good choice.
I don't know him.
Okay. Who else? If you ever saw the movie American Beauty, which
Okay.
I assume you've seen. He was the neighbor kid. He is Wes Bentley.
But he's okay.
Here's a photo of him. I think, like, I saw that photo and I'm like, dang, you'd be a great Freddie Mercury. Just put a mustache on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Really?
Yeah. He's the dude with really fucking intense eyebrows.
Oh yeah, those
If you took one of those eyebrows and then put that on his lip,
then he'd have one eyebrow and a weird
but
thing
then
on
you
his
could
lip.
cut off the other half of the other one and then move it over.
And he would have like a normal level of intensity.
I think we're
Yeah.
talking about massive facial reconstruction here.
But if
Anything-
you want to get the correct Freddie Mercury and then just put some weird, like, teeth in there.
I don't know that he's the right call for Freddie Mercury.
Honestly, whenever I saw Freddie Mercury, I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like or whenever I saw Wes Bentley, I should say.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, yeah, not just the AIDS or the whole that thing. Speaking of AIDS, sorry, Charlie Sheen, but you guys hear about that?
Nope.
Yeah, he's HIV positive now.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's
Apparently he has been for 4 years, but he just announced it the other day. But that's
Oh,
not one
shit.
that's not one of our news segments. I don't want to become like TMZ
Yeah.
where I'm reporting on that stuff. But yeah, I am very excited about this.
Yeah,
biopic.
totally.
I will be there. I don't know about day one, but
It will be seen by me.
it
Yeah.
will be seen. Yeah, we'll go with that. Speaking of, speaking of queens, Sam Riley will play the villain in the Ghost in the Shell film, which will also star Scarlett Johansson. That's my Queen reference.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
I have never seen Ghost in the Shell. Have either of you?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
I
buddy. Watch the anime. That's
It's super good.
See, I'm very unfamiliar with a lot of animes out there. Like, I just started Cowboy Bebop
Mm.
last week.
Ghost
So-
in the Shell is one of those ones that I would suggest to pretty much anybody who's like, I don't normally watch anime.
Is it an anime film or an anime series?
a film.
It's
It's
a
a film.
film.
There's a series, but don't bother with it.
Okay,
There's
just
a-
the movie.
Like even with Cowboy Bebop, as like critically praised as it is, it's got a lot of anime things in there.
Okay, yeah.
Ghost in the Shell really doesn't. Ghost in the Shell is basically a movie that happens to be animated.
Is it more like a Miyazaki where it's really not like anime in your face the entire time? It's just.
I mean, it is pretty stylized.
Okay.
Very very cyberpunk. A lot of great imagery in there.
And at times it's pretty brutal. There's a few fight scenes that are pretty bananas.
But it is like, I wish anime was like Ghost in the Shell.
More
So,
often, at
do you
least.
think that this, since you both have seen it, do you think that it lends itself to a live action remake?
I can pretty well tell you there's a few things they're going to focus on pretty heavily, and it makes me sad. If it's an American remake,
Yep, it's going to be an American remake of it. So
Yeah.
it's going to have Scarlett Johansson in it, so it's going to be a blockbuster sort of film.
yeah.
Yeah. So that means it's going to be an action thriller, like a sci-fi action thriller, which Ghost in the Shell technically was, but there was not a lot of chasing and running and screaming, and like there was, but it was not the whole movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't centered around that. The Ghost in the Shell is centered around like a philosophical question. Ultimately, the climax is a conversation in a really strange manner. And I highly doubt that the American remake is going to follow suit.
Since we very rarely do anything that cerebral.
Have you guys seen the atrocity that is the live-action Attack on Titan movie?
Oh no!
It's not an American remake.
I've seen a few things for it, and it's just
Pretty bad.
yeah.
Why would you live action that? That's one of the ones that
Actually,
you
that
don't.
was a Toho Japanese live-action remake.
That seems like a really weird one to
It's
live
a thing
action.
with a lot of Japan production studios. Like when animes get really huge like that, fans of it are buying it up all over the place. So kind of the next logical thing to do is like, well, what other medium can we transfer this to?
Well, you know what they should have done instead? Fucking make season 2 of Attack on Titan instead of working on this live-action movie.
Yeah, but you don't have to you just have to put it in a different place.
You don't have to pay new writers or pay the writers more.
That's true. I
Use the
guess.
same writing, just get new actors.
Speaking of fighting, running, and screaming, Colton Haynes will be returning to the CW series Arrow as his iconic character, Arsenal.
So what happened to him prior to this?
Oh, do you guys not watch Arrow?
Not at
No.
all.
Oh, man. This is one of the best shows on TV, and I don't say that lightly.
I typically avoid DC.
Now, this was actually Arrow and The Flash are like suspiciously good.
I'm hearing that.
Like,
I really enjoyed Constantine. I'm sad it's gone.
can't say anything. But let's just say if you watch The Arrow, you may see Constantine in a few episodes, even though it's not on the CW. I mean,
It's not
even though
dreadfully exciting.
he's really cool in it. I'll say that.
Well,
Okay, but Arsenal was Arrow's sidekick,
Okay.
but he got injected with this serum that hulks him out. Not like physically, like he gets huge, but like he gains like super strength. But when he does that, he loses all sense of reason. He just becomes a killing machine. Like whatever's in front of him, it's dead. And since that happened to him, he's left. He's like, I don't want to hurt anybody anymore. I just need to get away, try and get myself under control. And then whenever I do, then maybe I can come back. So now he's coming back.
Uh-oh.
so he's probably got it under control. Wink, wink.
And hopefully he does, because the villain in that they're facing right now in this season is pretty awesome, and they're going to need a lot of help to take him down. It's what's his name? Black.
Panther?
No, not Black Panther. He's a witch.
Oh, okay.
I was going to drive me. McDonough, who was in Neil McDonough, he's in a Minority Report. He's also in Captain America films.
Okay.
He has like those husky, like glacier eyes. He was also in Justified. Did you ever watch Justified?
Okay, yes.
Okay. He was. Damien Dark is the character. I'm just showing you pictures left and right of these actors.
Yeah, if this is... Okay. I gotcha.
Oh, cool. Jarrett doesn't want to see. Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
No, he's doing really good right now as Damien Dark. And like the entire time you're watching, like, how the hell is Arrow going to take him down? And
Probably shoot him with an arrow.
it didn't work on him, but okay.
Try it again.
Try it.
You know what they say? If at first you don't succeed,
Try again.
Shoot him with another arrow.
yeah.
Speaking of DC,
Whenever you fall off the horse,
Shoot it with an arrow.
shoot it with an arrow. We're going to jump around here. Speaking of DC, Justice League Dark is scheduled for a 2018 film release written by Guillermo del Toro. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Justice League Dark is awesome.
And man, I hope Suicide Squad does well,
I really do too.
because I think that if there's any hope for the DC film franchises, it's these group,
Mhm.
like these big group movies.
Yeah.
So, in Justice League Dark, I just saw today, they have oh shit, they have the writer from. I just saw this today.
I'll have to look it up. But I do know that they're going to have like a Colin Farrell as Constantine, which I didn't know Constantine and Hellblazer were the same person.
Hellblazer was his like comic series.
Yeah.
I did not know that either.
I just thought it was Constantine. That's what I've always known him as. Not gonna lie, the first time I was ever introduced to Constantine was the Keanu Reeves movie.
Me too.
Same
Good
here.
movie.
Yeah.
Actually, really good movie.
No, that's a movie that could almost qualify as a guilty pleasure movie for me.
I just think I didn't even consider it like a guilty pleasure. I just thought it was a good movie.
Yeah,
I
no, I
don't
love
feel
it.
ashamed saying that I really enjoyed that movie.
That's what I mean, but I think that probably a lot of people really hated that movie.
Was it Peter Milligan? Is that who you're thinking of as the writer?
Yeah, because he did something else that was notable, and of course, it'd be important for me to remember that now.
But it's gonna have like Constantine, Zananda, or how would you say her name?
I don't know.
It's gonna have Swamp Thing,
Oh, right.
Xanadu. Is it Xanadu?
I don't know if it's Xanadu.
No, Xanadu's the Olivia Newton-John movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy if I can't figure out who this is. But yeah, Justice League Dark is gonna be written by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, that's...
And yeah, I'm all about. He was actually going to direct it, but I guess he fell out of that as well. Which I don't know what's up with Guillermo del Toro getting assigned to projects and then leaving them. First, it was the Pinocchio movie, then it was Silent Hills, and now it's this. He just needs to commit to something,
okay,
Well,
so...
Did he actively leave Silent Hills, or did that drop out from under him?
yeah, that dropped out from under him.
Zatanna, that's who I'm thinking of.
Fede Alvarez, who's doing Evil Dead, or who did Evil Dead,
Mhm.
probably the remake, and Aaron Quixales, let me see, and Navat Papachado, Big Bad Wolves, are the frontrunners to direct Justice League Dark. I only know Alvarez from the new Evil Dead.
Like Ash versus Evil Dead? Or are you talking the new Evil Dead movie that
I'm-
came out?
It's the new Evil Dead movie that came out.
Oh, okay.
Or no, that was Sam Raimi.
He produced it. I don't know if he directed it.
I don't think he directed it.
Okay, good.
So you may be right.
Yeah. Okay, so
But
those
Ash
are
versus Evil Dead. That's Sam Raimi.
When is that supposed to happen?
They're on like the 4th or 5th episode.
What is this, a show?
Yeah, the show. Yeah.
Where can I find it?
I watched it.
Hold on, wait. Does it have Bruce Campbell in it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm in.
And I'm not going to lie, it is 100% Evil Dead, Army of Darkness stylized.
Oh, sweet
Funny,
baby Jesus.
awesome music, over the top gore. It's perfect. It is everything you would ever want it to be.
I'm in.
It's so good. But speaking of everything I've ever wanted, Matthew McConaughey has been approached to play the villain in the Dark Tower film.
Okay.
He would be playing the Man in Black, which he's also supposed to be playing Randall Flagg in The Stand, which is great because it's actually the same guy. Because
that
do you
makes
remember?
sense
Do you remember whenever we did the Stephen King podcast?
Yeah, and you and Roper were just jerking each other off.
each other off. Yeah, it was good times had by all. But we were talking.
It was a little
about,
weird for me.
Yeah,
You two were over there in the corner just going at it, and I was just watching, occasionally saying some stuff.
we invited you to join us many times, but you said no.
And made long eye contact.
I
with
don't
you.
like lefties.
It's funny because I am a lefty, but like we've said a couple times in different podcasts, Stephen King, across a bunch of his books, he renames the character, but if the character has the initials RF, it's the same guy. So Randall Flagg. The only time he's this different initials is Walter O'Dim, who in the Dark Tower series is the Man in Black.
Randy as fuck.
Randy as fuck.
Randy A. Fuck.
Yeah.
That'd be the best name for like a person.
But yeah,
in the
they've approached
world.
Matthew McConaughey for that. And he is, what I've heard is he either wants to play Randall Flagg, the Man in Black, or he wants to play Roland Deschain, the hero of the Dark Tower, which means if he does that, he's going to have to do the film series as well as the TV series that they're wanting to do for this, because it would be like 9 movies if they did.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, we're just going to do movie, series, movie, series, movie.
I didn't know the Man in Black showed up in the first book.
Yeah.
Okay.
The very first line of the Dark Tower is the Man in Black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. Very first line of the entire series.
I know that, but like that's like an abstract line, and the gunslinger's pursuing him.
The entire first book is Roland chasing the Man in Black.
Okay.
That's the entire first book.
Welp.
Well, I think it's safe to say that with all of those predictions, Stephen King is making a lot of money.
Stephen King has a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's doing quite well for himself.
He's like that weird dream for writers, because like most writers, even if they do super well, are never going to be as rich as he is.
Absolutely not.
I think he's the second or third wealthiest writer in history.
Like most writers, the best they can hope for is to do all right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Is J.K. Rowling?
J.K. Rowling is the wealthiest. She's a billionaire.
Okay.
The first billionaire writer.
Yeah.
And then whoever wrote the Twilight series, series.
Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah.
She's the second, and then Stephen King's the third.
That's
Okay.
a tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, really
Now,
is.
what I have to wonder, though, is with J.K. Rowling, is all of her money strictly from the books?
No.
No.
And the sales of those books and, sale of the concepts? Or did she, like, get a bunch of money and then, like, invest it super wisely?
Oh, I
or-
see.
Oh, no. She got money off the movies, too.
The movie deal, they were like, hey, so I don't know exactly how they divvied it up, but they were like, here's a contract for 3 movies. This is going to Warner Brothers. A contract like that would start at like $1 million. So, and then royalties.
And that was just
like,
for the first 3 movies, right?
Yeah, and I don't even know if that's exactly how it would have gone, but
Yeah.
that's
Money.
yeah. That's
Just-
why if you're a writer and someone approaches you about making a movie, you probably take it because they're like,
Yeah.
here's $100,000, and you're like,
who was
yeah.
the writer you were telling me about like 4 or 5 podcasts ago who he said at Comic-Con, I don't want a movie made out of my book because it won't translate well. And then they said, we can do a series.
yeah, that's
and then a movie.
that's Patrick Rothfuss.
Okay.
And it is now to be. Last news I heard, it's to be a movie and a video game
What?
with
King Killer Chronicles.
King Killer Chronicles with some design set on being a TV series as well. And he's like, yeah,
Jared's
so-
overwhelmed right now.
yeah.
King Killer Chronicles is like the fucking best thing. Just like 100%.
Okay. Speaking of the fucking best thing,
Speaking of things that aren't books,
Yeah.
god damn it.
a new production company called AMBI has acquired the rights to a film, and they plan to remake it. Now, people consider this to be one of the most perfect films ever made, and everybody is up in arms and like literally furious, like trying to get this production canceled because they don't want this film that everybody considers perfect to be remade.
So if you can't tell the internet, he's going to make us guess.
Yes.
So my first vote is Magic Mike.
I'm gonna give you guys
God damn it.
You guys get one question each that I will answer. You can't ask like, what is it?
Can
You can ask who directed it, who starred in it.
What
stuff like
year
that.
was it made?
I think it came out in 2000.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that
Most perfect movie in 2000.
Yep, came out in 2000.
wow, okay.
So, Mike, what's your one question?
I'll let you know that my guess was Citizen Kane.
No, it's not Citizen Kane.
Okay. Who directed it?
Christopher Nolan.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Memento.
They're remaking Memento.
Okay.
That's the most perfect movie ever made?
People consider it to be one of the most perfect movies ever.
Maybe I should actually see it.
Oh, you've never seen Memento?
Never seen it.
Okay, forget City of God. Your new homework assignment is to watch Memento.
I hate homework. I like to just do it in class and then fall asleep.
Yeah.
I dropped out of high school, damn it.
Seriously, Memento is perfect. There is no reason to remake that movie.
He's like Memento. Did he do The Machinist, or is that
No.
okay? I watched those 2 movies around the same time.
No, his
actually,
Christopher Nolan, he did no. I'm thinking of what was the Robin Williams Al Pacino movie? Insomnia. That was his first movie. Insomnia was Christopher Nolan's first film.
I know that
His first big film, I should say.
Memento, and I feel like there's another one that that's the reason why Christopher Nolan is such a heralded director.
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, of course.
Well, he had to get somewhere first before he could make The Dark Knight.
He did a movie called Following, and then he did Memento. His next movie was Insomnia, then Batman Begins, and then he did The Prestige with Hugh Jackman.
That's okay.
Is that the movie you were thinking of?
I was thinking of The Prestige.
Okay,
The thing about Christopher Nolan that's really gotten on my nerves is that his movies get so bogged down with like. Maybe if he stopped writing his movies, that would help. I don't know.
I like Christopher Nolan for the fact that he doesn't hold the audience's hand. Like, here, I'll help you through this. He's like, no, you fucking get this movie or you're too dumb.
He's almost like, I'm doing this for me. And like, if you want to see what I'm talking about, then
and that's why everyone likes Inception. Because if you don't like it, you just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I really do enjoy Inception.
Dude,
I really did too.
Such a great concept. Amazing movie, but like, can we agree that the execution is not great? Like, you kind of start falling asleep about 2/3 into that movie.
I think for what they wanted to achieve, they got as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Like a dream within a dream within a dream. That's really fucking hard.
That's
to pull
hard,
off.
but it's not that. It's the fact that the action scenes were like really boring and weirdly
I thought the
shot.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt Zero Gravity
Dude, those
fight
were
was
fucking.
awesome.
I'm talking about like the snowmobile.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
where you're like, I don't even care about this. Just get to the thing I want to see. Like,
That I get.
yeah, there's the scenes like that, and like the chase scene after Leonardo DiCaprio finds Tom Hardy. Like, there's just some scenes in there that we really didn't need. Those are the things like, and that shows up in Interstellar as well.
Are they supposed to be action movies though?
That's the thing. Inception is probably better not an action movie, but it is. Yeah. It has a lot of action in there.
There is a lot of action, but I don't think it's supposed to be an action film.
I enjoyed that movie best when it was just the characters talking.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought the CGI was phenomenal. Like, whenever the buildings fold on top of each other and they're walking upside down.
Fucking
like
iconic, actually.
Yeah. Speaking of fucking iconic, Star Wars The Force Awakens has already accrued $50 million in pre-sale tickets alone.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, that's fucking amazing, and yet I am not even slightly surprised.
I'm actually surprised it's not higher.
I actually
These are
with Jared,
pre-sales.
I thought it was pre-sale tickets.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be higher than that. It
Actually,
broke the record already for pre-sale ticket. Like, raped the shit out of that previous record.
I think I don't think anybody's going to be surprised with all the records this movie's going to break.
I will say right now, and I think this isn't even that crazy of a notion, this will be the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
At
for
least
sure.
until the next one.
Actually, I don't know about that.
No, I still see this one being the highest grossing.
Well,
even whatever 8 brings, because don't forget J.J. Abrams isn't directing 8 or 9.
So,
well, then we'll wait 20 years and start another trilogy.
Yeah.
So, the Avengers, the first one was I think the third highest grossing movie of all time, or something like that.
It's
Still under Titanic, and
it's the 4th highest grossing movie of all time.
And
that
then
might get it right.
Age of Ultron, you know,
It was like what? It's not even up there.
no,
Yeah.
it's the first in the franchise tends to fucking nail it out of the gates because it gets all the hype.
Or maybe actually be the 5th. I don't know. Because the first is Avatar, then Titanic, then Jurassic World, and then it's either Avengers or the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I can't remember.
Jurassic World kind of defeats your thing there because it's like the 4th in a franchise.
No.
But they waited a long time to make
It's the same thing happening with Star Wars Episode 7.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a new franchise within the franchise.
Yeah.
All right.
They're restarting. Because they say that Jurassic World, where they've left off, this is going to be a new trilogy.
Yeah,
So,
of course it is.
which I'm all for because I thought Jurassic World was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
Speaking of upcoming films that will which will most likely be amazing, is the way I should have said that. They are officially started filming on Marvel's Doctor Strange.
Probably should have went with movies that are strangely good.
Movies that will strangely be good. Doctor Strange is officially underway. The filming process has begun. Starring Benedict Cumberbatch as... Is it Victor Strange? Is that his name?
Yes.
I'll look it up real quick. I know his last name is Strange.
Wait,
And
I think it's like. No, I don't think it's Victor.
There's
Strange.
Kevin Strange.
Josh
I
Strange.
think it's like I don't know.
There's a lot of there are a lot of really good candidates they had to play Doctor Strange. I'm trying to think. They had
I'm wanting to say it's Jonathan Strange.
no, because there's a book called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
Well, that's why then.
Stephen Vincent Strange.
That's it.
Stephen Strange.
Because I was gonna say
Two
Vincent.
S's.
I was gonna say Vincent Vaughn Strange, but
Yeah. Oh,
Wait
you're
a
right.
second.
It has to be 2 S's. Yeah, because
uh,
that's what fucking Stanley loves to do.
I got tripped up by a goddamn book I've never read.
Yeah.
it's on my list. That's a fucking 800-page book. And sorry, yet again, interrupting the Flick Freaks podcast with my untitled book podcast.
Hey, do it.
Yeah, but
Do you remember last week's episode? All we did was talk about porn for an hour. So
Wait,
you
did
wanting
we?
to?
I don't remember talking.
We talked about
porn.
Ronda Rousey getting knocked out, and then we talked about all the different varieties of porn we watched, like tubbo porn. Like you had the tubbo porn that your parents gave you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then we talked about like how Brian and I we only had J.C. Penney's catalogs,
That's right.
and then
that was a great conversation.
it was really good.
For a good long. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I don't remember any of that.
You were too busy thinking about porn.
Yeah.
I'm okay, so I'm like really over Benedict Cumberbatch.
Like
It's
what, in
so
a good way
weird.
or a bad way?
Dude, I'm so conflicted on this. I'm tired of seeing him. I love watching that dude act. Like everyone's talking about him all the time. There's all these girls with crushes on him. He's got
Are
a
you
huge.
jealous? Is that what it is?
He's got a lot of cumber
You jelly.
bitches, as they're called.
Are you jelly?
bitches.
Cumber bitches. That's what they're
Actually,
called.
yeah, they are called the Cumber Bitches.
That is the most amazing thing that I've ever
Okay.
heard in my whole life.
And like, I'm so tired of hearing about that fucking alien man. But
He doesn't look human.
no,
No, he
did you
doesn't.
see him in Zoolander 2, which we're gonna talk about
is
soon?
Old.
He
Anyway,
actually weirdly looked human in Black Mass. That's like they made
That's-
everybody look weird.
Besides him,
They made him look normal. So that's what they did for him.
anyway, I could just listen to that dude talk for days.
He kicked
So-
ass as Khan.
I'll love
yeah,
to
he
see him.
did.
Yeah,
He
man.
killed that movie. That movie was amazing. And normally sequels, they don't hold up to
Nope.
what the first one was. But I don't know. I may have.
sequels and remakes, and that was both.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. He has that effect in Into Darkness when he's on the screen of you kind of feel yourself involuntarily like moving closer to the screen.
You're
He's
like-
got like that magnetism to him.
That's amazing. You were so fucking right. Speaking of,
We were talking about sci-fi.
speaking of sci-fi, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided has been pushed back 6 fucking months. Have
That's
you guys
bad
ever
news.
played the Deus Ex games?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Never played one.
Every single one of them.
So the game was initially supposed to be released in February, and they had this big promo they were doing with the game. Like, if we get so many pre-sales on this game, like if you want to pre-order it,
Mhm.
we will release the game 4 weeks early.
Yeah.
So
and
much
they
for that.
shattered that. Like, oh yeah, here's all our pre-orders. Yeah, we want the game 4 weeks early. And then they came out and said, sorry, it's going to be delayed 6 months.
Yeah, I can't believe the production studio would do that if they knew that, or maybe the developer was keeping their progress from them or something like that. But I mean, that's just not something you do if the game's not going to be ready.
Yeah.
Actually, in general, that's not something you do.
Do you think that games are being announced far too early? Because
Yes.
I'm not just saying this because it's Square Enix who makes the Deus Ex games, right?
They're
Now, yes.
the publisher.
Okay, they're a publisher. Okay, so they're not the developer; they're just
Oh
a
yeah,
publisher.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so who else is really bad at that? Ubisoft is probably the worst at
Yes.
announcing a game.
My
and
God. Yeah.
Then, yeah, Ubisoft. I say Ubisoft. It sounds way better, but they are just atrocious at this, and it's something that we're seeing too often in video games, where a game is announced and then
10 years from now,
10 years from now, this
game will come out.
Yeah.
It's a conundrum because with video games you have to invest as a company. You're investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in something right now, okay? And you can't tell anyone about that. If you say, okay, there's going to be a Halo 6, because it's in development, it's happening right now, but why announce it? You know, so at a certain point in that 5 to 6 year development process, you kind of need to start getting some groundswell. You have to get the word out there and see if you can get a reading on the hype levels.
Yeah, but
to
so
see if
often,
it's a good investment.
So often, especially lately, their timing has been so bad.
Oh no,
it's only been negative.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's either that or I don't think it's quite as feasible to have a game that's almost complete and then announce it, 6 months from its release, because there's a lot of valuable things that you can get from an audience by announcing it much earlier than that.
What games have done that? Because I know that there are a few and they did really great.
That just dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, by the way, we made this.
Well, that's usually if it's a studio that has a lot of like people really love them.
Yeah.
Like if CD Projekt Red was like, "Hey, Cyberpunk is coming out tomorrow," everyone would be like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
I would just
You can do that
drop
with-
everything.
You can do that with digital releases, but whenever it comes to like actual like hard case games, like actual disc-based games, it's really more difficult because you got to ship those. And
Yeah.
You can't say it's available now because people at GameStop are going to be like, "Look what we got," and they'll post it on their Facebook page like,
Right.
"Hey, here's the game."
Yeah.
But like what you said with Fallout 4, game's out 5 months. And, Ubisoft, they just, quote unquote, did that with their new Far Cry Primal. Hey,
Yeah.
game's out in 5 months. I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
Because you announced The Division 3 years ago.
Yep.
And it's not coming out until next year.
I was just about to bring up The Division.
I'm so fucking pissed that game is
I know.
taking this long.
It looks super great.
It looks so, and that's why I'm mad. They shouldn't have.
Because what ends up happening is where we're at now. Where
I'm pissed to the point I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, all three of us were very excited when we first saw it.
Yeah.
But now
But
I'm
at this-
over the hype. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, if it came out next month, I'm not paying attention to news about it. I'm over it.
I really want that game to be good because it was. So it and Destiny were kind of like on par with me for a while.
Yeah.
Back whenever they were both like
Yeah.
years out.
Because
Yeah.
we were both going like, which game are we going to be playing for the rest of our lives? Like, which
Yeah.
of these two games?
And then Destiny took a giant crap on my heart and lit it on fire. And I'd really like the Division to go ahead and fulfill on its promises.
But then again, if they just drop the game now, we're going to get a Watch Dogs where they're like, okay, yeah, here's the game, but it doesn't look anything like what we showed you guys in all of our E3 goggle versions of what this game is supposed to look like.
Yeah. So I guess what I've talked myself into is I think we should probably, as consumers, become more accustomed to games being announced earlier. Because if we want to think that a game is announced and it comes out 6 months later, then we're going to keep getting half-baked pieces of shit. But if studios can feel comfortable announcing a game that's not going to come out for 3 years, then, it's the ravenous consumer base that they're trying to appease. I'm not saying it's our fault. It's not our fault.
We really want what they've got, and they won't give it to us.
I'm just saying that I think game studios should be able to announce games, and I wish that they could be more lenient in their schedule.
Yeah.
So that we didn't get Watch Dogs and broken ass pieces of shit.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the E3 goggles with like the
Yeah.
whole, game's supposed to look like this, then it looks like that.
Yeah.
I think personally, this is kind of a tangent, but I want to say it, and I don't think there's ever going to be another good time for it.
Go for it.
I should just say something crazy. I think the Chinese are taking over. Aliens. I actually think that that's kind of a poisonous mentality to games right now. Not the E3 goggles thing. That actually happens. I mean, just right now there's a lot of focus on visuals, specifically graphics, to the point where other things are often at detriment. So,
Like story.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll start making a game. They're like, okay, well, it's time to start showing shit about it. So let's go ahead and turn all of our production from making a good game to making something that whenever we show it at E3, people are going to drop a load.
Right, because in 2 minutes, the things that's going to make your game pop, it's not writing, it's going to be the graphics.
Yeah, and it's really sad. I'm a hardcore gamer, always have been. I enjoy story, I enjoy mechanics. You know, I enjoy all of that stuff. Honestly, I could really care less about graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, I like graphics. Graphics
They're
are great.
impressive. They're not the all-in.
Yeah. If The Witcher 3 had pixel if it looked like Minecraft, I would still love that game to death.
Couldn't get into it.
You couldn't get into Witcher 3?
I tried.
Aw,
It's,
Jared,
it's
that's
over
okay.
there. I bought the game for $10, and yeah, just couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's...
I've been into the Witcher franchise since 1, so...
I'm just gonna be playing Fallout 4 for the rest of my life. It
Yeah,
feels like.
probably, for sure.
Although I hear the new Rise of the Tomb Raider game is like mind-blowingly good.
Oh my god. I wish I could remember this tweet, but someone was saying like, if someone could pay me to be a video game consultant, I would take any sum of money to tell a publisher not to release a game the same day as Fallout 4.
Yeah, which I would.
Don't do that.
I'd be very interested to hear that story because that's one of those games. It's just unfortunate that they had to release it in the fall of 2015 because you'd have to go up against Halo 5, which is actually not all that great. Besides the multiplayer, the campaign's not that great.
Yeah.
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
What else dropped? You have there was a big one on PlayStation that dropped. Call of Duty. Call of Duty dropped.
Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
So you're having to
Talk
go up
about
against,
the powerhouses right
You're
there.
going up against the titans of video games.
And like, what market is Rise of the Tomb Raider? I mean, that's the third-person shooter market, you know,
Yeah.
like that's taken up by all of those other games.
You're going up against Uncharted, which, yeah, you can go up against Uncharted, but fucking release it when Uncharted is being released.
Yeah, that's fair. That'd be one of those games where, God, hold it back until January or February when nothing else is happening.
Which apparently it's
Actually, there's a lot
unfortunate
going
because
on in January and February, but still.
yeah,
XCOM 2, February 6th.
oh, is it really?
I think.
Never played XCOM either.
What?
I know.
Reassess your life.
I'm the movie guy. You're the video game guy.
Yeah, and you're making me watch movies. I have to watch City of God and other movie.
Memento.
Yeah, that one. I already forgot it.
All right.
Did it?
I see what you did there. Speaking of things that got crazy delayed, so Robert Rodriguez and John Malkovich have just finished production on a film that will not be released for 100 years.
Okay, so I misread that earlier. What the fuck?
Yeah. So there's a brand of cognac called Louis the 13th, and it takes 100 years to fully ferment, and that's whenever they start selling it. So they've actually made a movie to be released the exact same time that the next bottles of Louis the 13th are going to be shipped out in 2115. And it's not like a promo movie for Louis. They're just saying, hey, yeah, this is like they're a producer of it, so it's going to be released whenever the next batch is. So yeah, 100 years, and that's also the title of the movie, 100 years.
They know that's not going to make... The movie's not going to age well.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like the cognac.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like what we expect the world to look like in 100 years, and then 100 years from now, they're going to be like, oh yeah, they totally got this wrong, or they kind of predicted this, which I'm like, you know what? They did that with Back to the Future, and that movie came out immediately.
But...
Jareth, you look so confused. Is this going to be like the scene in Scanners where your head explodes?
No, I'm not confused. I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah. It's a marketing ploy. But then again, the marketing isn't going to last 100 years.
Yeah, what if in 100 years nobody cares about movies? Then what are they going to do?
I know.
Then I don't want to live in that world.
When I'm
Good.
thinking about the world 100 years from now, I always get this crushing existential like fear because I'm like, man, how will we digest our media in 100 years?
We'll
Like,
probably actually eat it.
will everything be on the Oculus Rift or like?
That was a good movie. Just eat like a movie cracker and you get all the information. Whoa.
Well,
You're
Jareth
smiling
Jareth just blew his own
maniacally.
mind.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for the top 10 news. Guys, let's talk about our Patreon campaign.
Can we please?
Yes, we do have a Patreon campaign. You can donate as little as $1 a month, and that will help make the show better because we're all going to make the channel and our shows better together. It goes into the production and getting better equipment, which, guys, we purchased the first piece of equipment for the new computer we're going to have.
Excellent.
We have a new computer?
Yes, if you guys want to vamp for a little bit, I will bring it out and show it to you guys.
I will very happily vamp about this new computer.
All right.
Jareth, why don't you, while he's bringing out this new computer, why don't you tell us about your computer?
What is vamping?
It's when we talk, we just kind of like fill in the silence while someone else is doing something else.
Why is that called vamping?
I don't know.
Is it at all related to vaping?
Can you vamp for me while I look that up?
I can try. Sweet baby Jesus.
Damn.
That looks like something from space.
It's called the Phantom.
Which is
Yes.
way too cool of a name for a computer.
Sounds like something that would either blow up a small village in northern Africa or kill me in my sleep.
Or possibly
Christ.
prevent somebody from blowing up a small village in Africa.
Yeah.
So it's just the shell. There's nothing inside. It's just the case.
Shell.
But
I was talking about
yeah,
missiles.
we are. It's proof we are making progress. You know.
Yeah.
So one part
like went out
down.
and spent like $100 on like the box.
Yeah, but yeah, we have the case. So now all we need is stuff to put inside it, like memory cards and
Raccoon hats.
raccoon hats and graphic cards and stuff,
deer
motherboards
carcasses.
and power supplies. But yeah, it's just a symbol. Yes, we're not just shoveling in this money that we're getting.
Right.
Every bit of money we get is getting put right back into the channel. So,
Yeah, maybe someday we won't be recording this in Andrew's living room.
dude, that's the end goal because like every now and then I'll drive by a place. I'm like, oh man, that would make a great production studio.
Yeah.
And I just think about that all the time and it just puts a smile on my face. All right. Gentlemen, I think it's time we move on now to trailer talk. We have 5 very interesting trailers for movies that we saw.
Yeah.
And me
Some
and
of
Mike
them
are going to
goods.
have weird perspectives on most of.
That's all right because every single one of these besides the very last one is a sequel.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first one because I don't think you have seen any of these movies, like the
No.
original films.
I feel really uninformed.
Aside from Zoolander.
I've never.
Oh,
I've,
you've seen Zoolander.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah. Of course Zoolander, but like I've never heard of Now You See Me, and it's surprising because of all the big name actors in there.
Okay, so the first trailer that we're going to talk about, Mike brought up, is a film called Now You See Me 2. The original film starred everybody. It had Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, the brother
Sam
of
Franco or John
Sam
Franco,
Franco,
or
Kevin, Kyle Franco, Dave Franco. Dave Franco.
Dave Franco.
It's
That's it.
Dave Franco.
We just got to say those average first names.
Yeah.
We'll land on it.
So Dave Franco.
First time I ever saw him was in a really shitty, scary movie. And I was like, that looks like James Franco.
Yeah.
And then my sister's like, holy crap. Pull out her phone. She's like, that's James Franco's brother.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck?
Now, the first movie for the female lead, they had Isla Fisher, or is it Isla Fisher?
It's Isla.
Isla. Okay, I got it right. Isla Fisher. Now, this movie, she's not going to be in. It's going to be Lizzie Kaplan, who we know from like Cloverfield or Masters of Sex and True Blood. She was in True Blood as well.
Yeah.
So, the first film was about these magicians who use their powers of deception to rob places. And the reason they were doing that is because these 4 magicians, played by Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, Jesse Eisenberg, and Woody Harrelson, they got a card from who is known as the greatest underground magician in the world. And he's told them, if you 4 can come together to pull off these amazing feats, I will let you into this secret society which will fill you with wealth and everything you've ever wanted. The only problem is, everything I'm going to ask you to do is insanely illegal. And so Mark Ruffalo plays the detective who's trying to take them down. And they're being funded by both Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, who are both magician promoters. So they're like, yeah, we'll fund your project and stuff like that. Very interesting movie. Very, very good, because Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine are at odds against each other. Each
Great.
one's fighting for the notoriety of the one who helped push these magicians further into whatever they can do. Really, really good movie. Like, surprisingly good. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's a movie about magic and just it's going to be cool special effects. But no, there was actually a really interesting story there.
Okay. I mean, it looked. I saw it and I was like, man, this looks good. It looks kind of like an original movie with like. I was like, are these superheroes? Doesn't matter. It was cool. And then I saw it was 2, and I was like, what did I miss?
Oh yeah.
What did I miss?
Somebody should just release a movie with that name, like The Awakening 2,
Well,
and there's no The Awakening 1.
next year the movie Jaws 19 is being released.
That's cool.
There's not enough.
What you just said.
No, that's unacceptable. It's my idea. They need to pay me money.
Okay. So, yes. So this movie also stars Harry Potter.
It
Daniel
does.
Radcliffe showed up at the very end of the trailer, and he's like, ta-da! So, yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of wizard mockery, like inside jokes, that are going to be in this
Yeah.
movie. But, yeah, I'm interested. I really am excited about this movie. The next trailer up we're going to be talking about, The Huntsman, Winter's War. It is the sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman movie, which came out in 2012, I think, starring Kristen Stewart. Is that her name?
Yes.
The Twilight chick.
Twilight girl.
Yeah. Surprisingly, that was also a really good movie. A bunch of surprisingly good movies. That was what is closer to the actual story of Snow White. And this one is it's weird because this movie here, The Huntsman, Winter's War, is a prequel and a sequel to that Snow White movie.
I'm just trying to figure out the context in the Snow White tale with the Winter Queen and the Evil Queen, and is that ringing any bells for you, Jareth? Because I don't understand.
Is Snow White a grim tale? Or
Yeah.
It is a grim tale?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lesson in not taking things from strangers and eating them.
Yeah.
And a lesson in kissing corpses.
Yeah.
Do it, kids.
Necrophilia. It saves lives.
So I guess I'll just... Man, this movie looks not good. It looks really bad. It looks like how the Chronicles of Narnia tried to cash in on like the big fantasy armies clashing.
Look at
thing.
monsters fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, but it
Andrew,
had
you saw the
Reaper
first
cheat.
one. What did you think?
First movie was good.
So what does this second one look like to you?
Looks like the first movie.
Okay.
It's just the first movie, but with a different name.
Yeah, that's really it. Like, Charlize Theron in the first movie was amazing as the Evil Queen. Like,
Yeah. When I saw her, I was like, I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah. But, yeah, Emily Blunt's character is the Ice Queen. She wasn't in the original one. She's the new person. And then Kristen Stewart, she's not in this at all. She's off doing white shit. So,
Just like always.
yep. So yeah, are you guys interested in seeing that? Are you interested in seeing the first movie? I should say that.
I'd be willing to watch it in a group. I'm probably not going to.
Yeah,
plug it
I was
in
gonna
and-
say my girlfriend watched the first one and liked it, so I mean maybe in that context I'll see the second one. But
All right. Third movie up, Zoolander 2.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bah,
So-
bah, bah, bah.
That sequel that you never knew you wanted.
Yeah. And it looks just as good as the first one.
Yeah, it looks like it might actually be good.
There was a part in the trailer which literally I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be brilliant. And it's at the very end when you see Will Ferrell walking out of the prison. He rips off his shirt and he's just like this 5,000 pound thing of muscle.
And
And then he rips that off.
Yep.
he pulls off the fake hair and he's got the Bugatti there underneath.
Prison changed me. And then
Where's my latte?
Benedict Cumberbatch in this as well as you're not sure if it's a man or a woman model.
In his true form, an androgynous alien man
Yes.
person.
All is all. And then it's, who else is in this movie? Was it Justin Bieber I saw is going to die?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I think we can all take that hit.
But you know what? It's directed by Ben Stiller and Justin Theroux, who wrote the first movie, and he also wrote Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
He's making this.
That's a good team.
And if you, I don't know, you guys have HBO? If you ever watched the show Leftovers?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. He's the main actor in Leftovers.
Okay.
He's married to Jennifer Aniston. So
Good
he's got
for
that
him.
going. Good for him. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's writing this one as well. So it's just that whole crew getting back together. Whenever you have the original writers, original directors, original cast, you can pretty much expect the same hilarity, unless it's Dumb and Dumber or Dumb and Dumber 2, whichever one that was. Because that was
yeah.
same everything, and that movie was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Boy.
Next movie up, the third installment in the Ip Man series, Ip Man 3.
The Punching.
The Punching, yes. Starring Donnie Yen again as Ip Man. Also, in this third film, he is fighting Mike fucking Tyson.
Because, yeah.
So the first movie was, what I gather, fairly historically accurate. Ip Man is the guy who trained Bruce Lee in martial arts. And in the first film, it was all about his struggles whenever the Japanese invaded China during World War II, and he was trying to help the Chinese citizens. The second movie was when an American boxer came over, and he's like, I'll fight anybody, and Ip Man's like, I'll fight you. And that one wasn't quite historically accurate. And then this one doesn't, I don't even know. It just looks like a fun martial
Yeah, it
arts
just looked
film,
like lots of punching and kicking and...
which I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because the first movie, I showed you guys a clip from the first film whenever Ip Man fought 10 guys at once.
Yeah, and he punched that one guy so many times in 1 second.
Yeah.
Like, so many times. About as many times as I've been punched in my whole life in 1 second
But
on that guy.
But that first movie, it wasn't just, it wasn't like crazy martial arts. It was a bunch of bone breaking, like ripping skin,
Yeah.
awesome fighting scenes.
Yeah.
And this one looks more along the lines of what you'd see in like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where
Yes,
it's
it
like
does.
lots of gravity defying stuff. But
Yeah.
I like both styles of martial arts films.
Sure, they're fun. They're awesome. So,
So I imagine that he's going to get punched by Mike Tyson and go flying through the air.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to do the X thing, when after you get punched, you go, ugh,
yeah.
and then you jump right back into it.
Yes, yeah.
So I know this is an audio podcast, so what I just did holds no ground for anybody listening to this.
They
but-
all know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. You
It
guys
happens
did.
all the time.
Yeah. But the last film we'll talk about, the whitest Egyptian movie ever. The film is called Gods of Egypt. It's about the mythical beings in Egypt mythology, and they are battling against each other in this iconic fight.
This looks spectacular.
It looks like Clash of the Titans. Like, they did the remake of Clash of the Titans where it wasn't true to anything. It was just a bunch of craw.
Yeah.
Crockin'.
Yeah, so I was going to say, yeah, this is the widest movie about Egypt, but there was a movie about Moses recently
Yeah.
that was all white people, so that's another one that's like, no.
We really need to stop
Let's just
doing
stop.
that.
Let's whitewash everything.
Well,
Prince of Persia was all white people.
Yeah.
no, actually, I think,
Well, sorry.
The Last
main
Samurai
character.
starring Tom Cruise.
yeah,
Yeah.
but,
But that movie's actually really good.
at least he was American in
he
that.
was an American.
It was just like,
Tom Cruise is Japanese.
this is, I guess it's like you can have these movies with white people in Egypt as long as next year, if we could get a Abraham Lincoln movie with all Japanese people for no reason. Everyone in that movie is Japanese,
I just want to see.
except the extras. Some of them are white.
I want to see a Norse mythology movie starring all Koreans.
Wait, one like Japanese character, and that's the white guy.
Yeah.
Like just switch everybody's race intentionally.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Anyway, Gods of Egypt looks
Super bad.
like a horrible pile of shit. And honestly, even the CG, Skymouth. Okay. But still, it's like
not good enough to carry the movie.
It's poorly implemented. It looks like it's from 2005 and it's all green screens. Like, we are past that.
Yeah,
It's-
PS2 graphics.
Yeah.
It stars Gerard Butler as the Egyptian god Set, and it stars Nicholas Coster-Waldau, who plays Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones as
Yep.
Horus. What the fuck?
Uh,
And then
And
there's
Set apparently turns into Anubis to fight.
yeah,
Anubis in power armor.
that's the other thing. So they look normal until they want to fight, and then they transformerize. Whatever.
They get into their Zords and they
Yeah.
battle it out. It's Egyptian Power Rangers, yeah.
God damn it, this movie.
Then
But
he's
it's
got a
direct-
weird eyebrow friend who steals an eye. I don't know.
Here's
what's
the
going
thing,
on
though.
with
It's
that.
directed by the guy who gave us The Crow, Dark City, and what was the other movie he did?
For real?
Yeah, he's
Did he suffer a blow to the head?
Alex Proyas. He did those. He did iRobot. He did all those movies.
okay.
I can see iRobot, I guess, but
I guess that explains why it's visually striking.
Yeah.
It does seem to have a very solid tone visually. But
Does that make sense, though? Because he's given us amazing movies. He did do the movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage, which was
Oh.
pretty bad.
oh.
But he's done Crow, Dark City.
Dark City was incredibly cerebral too.
Yeah. And now he's doing this fucking, what's his name? Michael
Bay?
Bay movie, yeah. See, I didn't even have to finish it. You knew exactly who I was talking about.
I was real confused though because you were confused, and I was like,
I had a brain
what is-
fart.
I was worried you were going to be talking about some director I didn't know. And I'd
No,
say
it looks
Bay,
very
and you're
Michael
like, "You're
Bay-ish."
stupid.
No, it looks very Michael Bay-ish, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And I don't...
like somebody jerking off and coming fireworks. It's ridiculous.
So is this going to be the dark horse film that surprises all of us and like, God damn it, that movie was good?
No, if this movie is good, I'll eat my own sock.
All right. Like the Jack Nicholson wannabe from We're Still Here
Yeah,
with the 9 head. All right. Next up, we're going to mention we have a store, guys, and I'm wearing one of our shirts.
Yeah,
I don't
you are.
think so. Who is that on your shirt?
I don't know, but he's devilishly handsome. So, yeah, we have a Flick Freak store. You can find t-shirts, coffee mugs, phone tablet cases, mouse pads, a plethora of paraphernalia you can find. If you go to shop.spreadshirt.com/flickfreaks, we have over 100 items in our store, and I am very proud of every single one of them.
I'm gonna have to get one of those shirts.
Yeah, we have plenty of shirts. We have ones with like the Ahoy. I need to get you guys on some shirts too.
Yeah,
And then whenever one of your shirts sell, you get the money for it.
that sounds good.
Doesn't it?
I could use money,
Money's good.
especially if people are putting my face between their boobies.
Yes.
That sounds like something I want to be paid for.
I made money off tits. It's great. So it is time now for the Fairbairn forecast to let you know what you can go and see in theaters right now. And this is the movie, if you guys didn't have anything, I was going to be reviewing, but I'm glad you guys talked about something. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, you can
Oh.
go and see.
Oh,
I
boy.
had to review that for a show last night.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You can also go and see The Secret in Their Eyes, which stars, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I always have a difficult time pronouncing his name, but it also stars Nicole Kidman, Julia Roberts, Dean Norris, and Alfred Molina.
Ooh, that's that one. Yeah, okay.
That
Yeah.
actually sounds good.
It's, if I remember correctly, it's about this police officer whose daughter's murdered, and then she goes on this rampage to find her daughter's killer, like over 20 years trying to catch this guy. And Chiwetel Ejiofor and
more specifically, they pretty much catch him to start, and then he gets to walk.
yeah, that's what it is.
And
yeah.
she's like, "No, I'm gonna get this guy." And then so he finds him, and they're like, "Well, we can get him." And she's like, "No, I'm gonna fucking kill him." And they're like, "Well, we can't let her just kill him."
Yeah,
Looks good. I remember seeing the trailer for it when we saw Black Mass.
that's exactly right. We saw that at the very beginning.
yeah,
Another
like
movie,
3 times.
Yeah, No, that was The Martian.
Yeah,
we saw.
The Martian had like
we-
3 trailers.
Yeah, there was like 20 or 30 minutes of trailers before Black Mass. We saw the same trailer for movies like 2 or 3 times.
It was nay-nays.
Wow.
Yeah. The other movie you can go and see is a movie called The Night Before. It stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Lizzie Kaplan, and Anthony Mackie.
I bet I
Yeah.
can guess what kind of movie it is.
It's a pot movie. It's about 3 friends who every single year on the night before Christmas they all get drunk and party together.
Yep, sounds right.
Apparently-
Gordon-Levitt and etc. Yep.
It has a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, which isn't
That's-
anything to scoff at.
Yeah, that's not easy to get.
You can also go and see Spectre, the Peanuts movie, The Martian, Inside Out.
Hold
and
on. Roll that back. What? Two ago.
Spectre, The Martian.
The Peanuts movie?
Okay. Okay.
I heard it too.
I thought you
Oh,
said
the
the penis
penis
movie.
movie.
I
No,
was
no.
like, what?
Now I get it. No, Snoopy.
Really different things.
Apparently, it's pretty good. It has an 8 out of 10.
The Peanuts movie?
Yeah, the Peanuts movie does.
The
You know
penis
what?
movie is not doing as well.
You know what movie doesn't have an 8 out of 10? And that's Spectre.
Yeah.
Does it have a 9 out of
It
10?
has
No.
a 7.2, which
Oh.
is still a little too high, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, who won IMDb Idiots last
I
time?
don't know.
Wasn't me.
I think it was Brian, because you weren't here. Brian shut out Jareth. So
Yeah, he just wrecked me.
All right.
Like, completely.
So it's time to play IMDb Idiots. For those of you who are new to our show, what this game is, I'm going to list off facts about a media type. It could be film, television show, or a video game, and the 2 gentlemen with me have to figure out what I am talking about. They each get 1 guess. If they guess wrong, they are out, unless both guess wrong, and then they both get to come back in. The first to 3 correct answers wins. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready to lose. Let's do this.
The first media format we are going to be talking about is a film. Directed and written by Christopher Nolan. Also written by his brother, Jonathan Nolan.
Oh, Jesus. That could be so many things.
It could be so many things.
I'm gonna need another clue.
It stars Michael Caine, as so many of his films do.
Okay. We're not getting
Thanks a lot.
any warmer.
This one will probably give it away. It also stars David Bowie.
It stars David Bowie?
He's in it.
Oh, he's in it.
He's actually a pretty predominant character.
Oh, The Prestige.
The Prestige. David Bowie played Nikola Tesla.
He did, in like one of my favorite Bowie performances ever.
Yeah, it was really fucking
Because it's
good.
one of those where you're like, is that David Bowie? Did David Bowie just walk out of a lightning storm?
He
Wait,
did.
I swear to God I've seen that movie, but what?
Yeah.
Yeah. David Bowie is Nikola Tesla. He's the one who invents the machine.
Okay, I need to rewatch this movie apparently.
Yeah.
I must not have paid enough attention.
So the next
How the fuck
media
do I miss my namesake?
the next media format we're going to be talking about is a video game. It's written by Warren Ellis.
Uh-oh.
It stars the voice of Gunnar Wright. And it's has a PEGI 18 rating by EA is the developer.
Who is the name?
Gunnar Wright.
Okay.
Wright. The character he plays is
Is it
Isaac Clarke.
Dead Space?
It is Dead Space.
Okay.
I
I
love
didn't-
Dead Space.
I didn't know Warren. Is that the same Warren Ellis that's like a famed comic book writer?
He did like the Red
Okay.
and stuff like that. The next media format we're going to be talking about is a television show. It is written by Larry David.
Uh-oh.
It is also written by Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Fucking dicks on a biscuit. Dick biscuit. I already saw it and I just stumbled. I hate Seinfeld. You hate it.
Oh man, I wish I could
Always.
put in one of those interstitial like
I just want to slap that show
All right.
right in its fucking testicles.
The next media format, and possibly the last one,
Yep.
is a film.
I almost typed that in. I hope you're happy. A film.
It's written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna jump the gun. There will be blood.
Nope.
Yeah. Eat a dick.
It stars both Julianne Moore and Philip Seymour
Son of
Hoffman.
a bitch. I know it now.
No, because both of them are
Yeah,
in multiple.
I was gonna say those are in a lot of them.
Yeah, but I'm a good guess. Oh, no, I'm not.
That's your
Shit.
one extra clue.
Magnolia.
It is Magnolia.
Okay, yeah,
It's either that or Boogie Nights.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
To retrieve my cell phone from the floor.
which he threw down, and
Congratulations,
yes,
Mike. You are once again champion. I think since we've started the new one, you have the most victories.
I think you're probably right.
So congratulations on your hot streak.
That's only because he's typically against me.
No, I've gone up against Brian as well.
Yeah.
Twice.
All right. Thank you to everybody for listening to episode 59 of the Flick Freak podcast. You can find us on all forms of social media like Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
You can find me in your dreams.
Yes, you can find all of those, even the dreams, at /Flick Freaks. Anything you guys want to plug? Did you guys just record a new spoiler cast?
No, that didn't end up.
Oh.
We didn't end up recording that day.
Okay, because I asked Roper, I'm like, you guys haven't recorded one of those in a while? And he's like, yeah, we're filming one this weekend. I guess that didn't happen.
No,
Oh, that's
yeah,
unfortunate.
Jareth was out of town, and I had to work for him.
That's
so-
right, yeah.
Yep.
Well, anything you guys want to plug? Anything coming up?
No,
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't want to cut it off. Dan Jones, his new book just
Yeah.
released. Is it
Fuck.
Perdition Flame? Is that what it's called?
no,
No,
that's totally.
Oh, that's the
different.
other guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Apologies. This is
on he's billed as Damn Jones,
Damn
like the
Jones.
curse word. His book is called Propitiation.
That's what it was. I'm
if-
so sorry, Dan.
If you type in propitiation on Google or on Amazon, it's probably going to be your top result.
Let's find
And
out
this
if that's
is-
true.
And this is a book that Dan has just released independently. I think Jareth and I probably have followed him through a lot of the writing process, and this is definitely a labor of love for him.
Is it propitiation or propitiation?
Propitiation.
Okay.
I know soon, and if it's to happen, I'm sure we can get a hold of the Flick Freaks Twitter. Dan will be having it for free for a day, so anyone can just pick it up. So I will keep you posted on that. So, yeah, but it's a great book. It's worth the money if you want to go through a crucible.
So, yeah, it's going to be on Amazon, right?
It is on Amazon.
It is
currently.
on it. Fantastic. Yes. Everybody go and check that out because we've had him on both this podcast and he's been on the Spoiler podcast, of course. And he's a great guy to talk to, and I'm very excited to read the book.
Yep.
So, yes, again, apologies for saying Perdition's Flame. I remember it started with a P, but I've slept and blinked since I last heard about
Perdition and propitiation, they are both religiously tied
it. Yeah.
multi-syllabic words. So
Okay. So now that I look like an idiot, we will catch you guys in episode 60
yes,
of the Flick Freak podcast. Also, a quick thing I'm going to plug. Tonight we are going to be posting the final top 10
oh my god,
100 best films of all time. Oh my god. Like each week we've been doing like 100 through 90.
Yep.
90 yeah. So
this
tonight
is it.
it's top 10.
The moment
And
you've been waiting for.
I'm very excited because the way that we've been doing this, they haven't looked all that great the way that I've edited these. I put a lot of effort to making this top 10 look good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you again for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode. Until next time, Godspeed.
Yo ha!
Goat speed.